Hello friends, welcome to the course Words to Use Instead of Very. This lesson is presented to you by me, Amirtha Devarajan. I'm a student of English Literature from Delhi University. You can follow me on Unacademy at this given URL and don't forget to rate, review, recommend, share and comment on my videos. Okay, so let's start with today's lesson. The first word which I want you to keep in mind is slack. It is used in place of very loose. When it can be used in two contexts. The first one being the clothes being loose. For example, look at this picture. Well, the clothes are loose for the clothes are not fitting this person. So he can say that this cloth is very loose. This cloth is very loose. So he can rather say that this cloth is slack. So the word slack means when something is extremely loose, or in order to provide you technical details, when something is not held or structured in a tight position. It's an adjective in the sense it describes noun. And the second context which I was talking about is you often call some person loose, like he has a loose character. By that, even in that context, I can use the word slack. We often use this word like he's a ढीला person, कि वो बहुत ही ढीला इंसान है और ये कपड़ा बहुत ढीला है. So you see, we are using this word in two contexts. So in that sense, we can also say that this person is a slack. He's loose, his attitude is loose, his personality is loose. So this word slack can be used in two contexts. I'm just repeating myself so that it's feeding in your mind. Examples: his broken arm hung slack at his side. So his broken arm is lying loose at one side. The rope went slack, meaning that the rope went very loose. He accused the government of slack supervision. That means he accused the government of supervising in a very loose manner. Now, the first two examples were literal examples, which meant that was, really very loose. And the second example shows the second context, that is a human being loose. When something intangible, you accuse something intangible being slack. Moving on, the word very loud. The substitute for this could be thunderous. Well, the very word thunderous, when you hear the word thunder, it makes a huge noise. So the word thunderous means that when something makes a very, very loud noise. So instead of very loud, why not use the word thunderous? Because it expresses much, much more. Because when I'm saying that she sounds thunderous, then I mean that I cannot tolerate what she says. She's so damn loud, right? So the meaning of thunderous is making a loud noise, the sound of a thunder. So you know how a thunder sounds, right? Every man must have heard it sometime. So thunderous is like that of the thunder sound that is so loud. It's an adverb. Adverbs are the word which I use to describe adjectives or adverbs. Verbs and adjectives. So adverbs are used to describe verbs and adjectives or modify them. The synonyms for this could be blasting and blaring. Well, even if you look at these, if you hear the sound of these words, thunderous, the minute I say this, you can sense something related to sound. Blasting. If I'm saying this, Blom has blasted. When I say blasted, you can sense something being blasted. So you instantly relate that this is something related to sound. And blaring means a very unpleasant noise. So the word for very loud, substitute for very loud could be thunderous, blasting and blaring. Look at this little clip art. He's shouting the hell out of him. So he's trying to sound thunderous. Moving on, let's look at the examples. The audience responded with thunderous applause. That means there was huge applause, very loud applause. The last thunderous chord of the symphony rang throughout the hall. Let's move on. The word very mean. Well, we very often use this word. Well, I am also using, instead of very often, I can say we frequently use this word. So instead of saying very mean, let's use the word cruel. Instead of saying that someone's really mean, let's say he's cruel. In fact, it will be more of an insult to him. I've often told you this. Well, maybe this is a better way to feel it in your mind. So, the meaning of this word is terrible or very unfair. When someone's very unfair or very bad to you, you can call him cruel or very mean. So instead of very mean, use the word cruel. It's an adjective. That means it describes the noun. And the synonyms for this could be atrocious. Atrocious again means someone who's very cruel and very mean. So see him again using very. So just understand the intensity of this word. Atrocious stands as the next level to cruel. So cruel and atrocious are two words which describe when someone is very terrible or unfair. Heartless, when someone doesn't have a heart, and he's ruthless, then we call him heartless. Or inhuman, when you do not possess the qualities of a human. So the substitutes for very mean could be cruel, which actually means very mean. Atrocious, which stands at the next level to cruel, that is extremely mean or extremely cruel. And heartless, a person who does not have a heart. And inhuman. Moving on, let's look at this picture. He's so angry and he's so cruel, he's mean. So use the word cruel instead of very mean. Let's look at the example. A cruel twist of fate. That means a very unfair or very terrible twist of fate. Hunger is a cruel fact of nature. So that means that hunger is a very harsh reality of nature, a very mean reality of nature. So instead of very mean, please use cruel or atrocious, or if the sentence had scored with inhuman and heartless. Next word we're going to deal with is very necessary. Well, we often say that this is very necessary and that is very necessary. So the word essential perfectly, encompasses the meaning of very necessary. Essential means something that is very, very necessary. So instead of very necessary, use the word essential. Well, needs and wants, it has a fine difference. Need is something which you need and without which you cannot live. And wants is something which you really want, which you want to have, but you may live without it. So essential word indicates need. So very necessary means essential. Extremely important, which is of extreme importance, and it's an adjective. That means it describes nouns. And the synonyms for this could be integral. Integral is again important. For example, if I use the word that grammar is an integral part of English, so here I mean that grammar is at the core of English, has importance in the language English. Requisite, again, the word requisite means when you need something, again, requirement or essential when it is. So the word for very necessary is essential, integral, or requisite. These words have minor differences. You may check it for yourself, but I would recommend the word essential. And integral and requisite are good words too. So discipline is essential. That means discipline is a need. Discipline is a must. So that is how it is placed. The examples. As a fighter pilot, he knows that good vision is essential. That means good vision is needy. Free speech is an essential right of the citizenship. That means it is again very much needed. The essential problem with this plan is that it will cost too much. Okay, now let's move on to the next word. Very nervous. When we often say that, for example, if you have to present a PowerPoint presentation or any presentation, then you often are very nervous. So instead of using the word very nervous, you can use the word apprehensive. The word apprehensive is used in other contexts as well. So the meaning of this word is to show or feel fear about the future or fear about anything. So it's an adjective, again describing nouns. And the synonym for this could be conscious. Well, these are two different words, but I'll explain how it is a synonym. When you're conscious of something, you change. I mean, if I'm saying that you are being judged every minute, someone sitting right in front of you and they'll be judging how you sit, how you talk, how you move. So you'll be very conscious to do which you regularly do. So in that case, conscious is the word. So sometimes apprehensive, conscious both become the same word, because when you are apprehensive, when you're very nervous about something, you're conscious about even speaking something, speaking a word, even nodding your head. So in that case, these words stand at par. But yeah, these have major differences. But if you're apprehensive, that means you're very nervous about something. Let's look at the examples and it will get clear. Even if you look at this clip art, you'll understand. This guy looks apprehensive about something. He's very tense and very nervous about something. I'm pretty apprehensive about attending the conference. So he's very nervous about attending that conference. His expressions were apprehensive, but he said nothing. This means that he was very nervous about something, but he was trying to control it. So he wasn't saying anything, but he was very apprehensive about something. So I hope these words are clear to you. If not, please get back to me. And looking forward to your responses. Thank you. Have a nice day.